That's why we were pumped, guys. You know what's going on? I think this is a no. Justin, President Trump has agreed to put off the 50% taxes on the EU until July 9th. Hey guys, this person right here, Donald J. Trump, really knows how to play the markets very well. Yes, he says full-on tariffs one day and, oh, let's just delay or none at all the next. Yes, guess what? This is positive until July 9th. As we already said, this fits with the idea that we will keep pumping until XRP hits its lowest point and sets a new all-time high for the year. Okay, it looks like we'll get there by July 9th. It will be very nice, and the European Union says it's ready to discuss a new trade deal within 8 seats, right? They're no longer messing around. It looks like they want to move things along, guys. Keep in mind that this is a sure thing for the markets, which is a very strong sign. Also, it will calm people down. Now, let's talk about Bitcoin and what's going on right now. We can see that it's moving up and down a lot. Also, it's the weekend, so there's more trickery going on. And I believe the stock market is closed today. Monday, 40x, there is now $1 billion Bitcoin short on Bitcoin Mail. Okay, so James Wynn opened a Bitcoin huge short position because he thought the price would drop a lot. Instead, it went up, and he lost $16 million when he closed his short position. Now, from the point of view of James Wynn's TA, please show me that we will go up soon, like in 24 to 48 hours. I did tweet that XRP by right win was the sweeten out at 12:42 p.m. So let me try to persuade you. 12:42. So let's check out the XRP charts at 12:42. In fact, it was tweeted right here. It was right here, I believe. We're all the way up here. So yeah, we're pretty close to the bottom right. What the heck is that on the 12th hourly charts, right on the higher time frames? Don't forget that XRP can also help Bitcoin. First, I want to talk about XRP because this is very important. On the 12th hourly chart of XRP versus Bitcoin, I see an inverse head and shoulders pattern, which is the most positive pattern there is. I also see a bullish divergence or multiple of those. To sum up, there is an inverted head and shoulder pattern and a bullish divergence on the 12-hourly chart. That's the most positive set of requirements you could have for this. Okay, guys, if that doesn't really pump us, I don't know what will. But I think that will push us higher on this chart, which means it will soon pass Bitcoin here. Let's look into Bitcoin though. Guys, this is just too exact. Have a look at what just happened. This is crazy. The lines are really working great. What was the range breakout that went back down to? To really put this to the test as help, doesn't it touch just right the exact spot, guys? Take a look. What did they do? Now that we're up here, the range or channel is from 106.7K to about 115K. Okay, so I think things are looking pretty good for XRP right now, even though the weekly is crossed. Look, we're going higher. It looks like XRP's time to shine has come. A positive cross has shown up on the, is this the weekly? You guys who use weekly moving averages, the 5-MA short-term moving average is above the 30 in purple. The 10 should then be above the 30. I believe that's why it looks like orange, then green, then purple. That's a strong upward trend, guys. So things don't look too bad. From my point of view, everything looks lovely. Now, James Wynn said that he was betting with perpetuals and that he won $25 million 0 cents. He thinks, wait, maybe he's feeling optimistic now. It's time to go backwards twice, right? Let's see what takes place, guys. I mean, things are getting better, right? It looks like Bitcoin is starting to show a daily positive divergence. Tomorrow, if it closes above this level, if it closes above 13,000, that's a bullish divergence, which means that high will be needed, right? The line on our chart shows that it's likely to go to 115K, which is where it is now. You know this is from Credible Crypto, right? As we said before, if Bitcoin goes up, it will give XRP enough power to move. The layout of the XRP/Bitcoin pair is very nice. It's showing a lot of bullish signs, guys, for crazy price increases. What's happening is that bulls want to defend 107K to 108K to get another chance at the highs, and that's where we're defending right now. We pumped out of that area at 106K and change, and we're going to go higher at some point because if you compare shorts to longs, there are $8.5 billion worth of Bitcoin shorts to be liquidated at 115K. So there are literally 9 billion people shorting Bitcoin until it hits 120K or something. And then look at the longs, right? 500 million from 95,000 guys. Check out the difference between 500 million and billions. Yes? Which way are they going to go? The easy way to go is the long road or the short path, right? The people who are wanting will be taken out. They'll get paid. Yes, I agree. I also don't think we're at the peak yet, because Bitcoin funding rates are still not even close to the all-time highs they were at one point. We're only just beginning, right? Check this out. This is how much you can borrow for Bitcoin, guys. It hit a high point with Bitcoin every time the funding rates went through the roof. Right now, we have a deficit because no one is willing to take risks. No one wants a long. They don't want to go because they're afraid it will top any second now. If you're scared, that means we'll go higher until this spikes to new heights or the range highs. That's right, they'll bring it back down to earth. It doesn't bother Michael Siller because he's implying that he might buy more Bitcoin. It's only with money I can't lose that I buy Bitcoin, right? And he's buying a lot, guys. Every time he says something like this, the next day he writes about getting more Bitcoin. Be careful tomorrow. So we're in a new world now that Bitcoin has the same number of users as the internet did in 1999. We're only just beginning. In this case, what's happening is that Bitcoin is at 4.7%. This is where most people first used the internet in 1999. Bitcoin is currently trading at 4.7%. It will likely go up in value at some point unless it falls. XRP is also likely to go up in value. That's the new world we want everyone to live in. You know that boomers are buying Bitcoin, right? People over 50 need to buy Bitcoin, guys. I told you they are going to truly lure every single person out there. Everyone, every animal, and everything will hold some Bitcoin before it all falls apart. So this is the only way to get there. Here comes the CEO of Binance. Pay attention to what he says about Bitcoin going up. I told you. We got 97% more people to take the test. In the first 3 months of this year, things are moving very quickly. It's twice as much from that side at 100 million. Yes, guys, everyone is going to come in. Adam Back says that Bitcoin will reach $1 million in short order. It's coming. We reached a new all-time high of 73.5 just before the halving, which I see as proof that it would have gone higher if not for all of those facts. Because of this, I believe it is not a good idea to draw too many conclusions from the previous cycle. If you take that out, I think there's a lot of good news. I think $100,000 0 cents is way too low, and I hope to make a lot more this year. And during this time, you get between $500 0 cents K and $1 million 0 cents. We'll see. That's interesting because CZ, Binance's former CEO, also said that this loop would go to $1 million. It seems like everyone wants 1 million Bitcoins. Is that even possible? For a longer-term look at Bitcoin, let's go to all of the resistance points should be turned on. Look at this. It's possible to make $1 million. Just look at that. Also, that's right at the top of the channel. Wow, that's 1 million guys, right? How I had no idea.